You call your Beagle. Nothing happens. You call again. Still nothing. They're only a few metres away, so you know they can hear you. But their nose is on the ground, and right now, whatever they've found seems far more interesting than you. So why does your Beagle seem to ignore you? Well, the quick answer is usually it's not quite as personal as it feels. But Beagles were bred to track scent, often over long distances and without needing constant direction from a person. That independence and environmental focus are still very much a part of the breed. So when your Beagle catches an interesting scent, their attention can shift very quickly. They're not necessarily thinking, "I'm not listening to you." They're simply very interested in something you can't smell. So what is your Beagle actually doing? Well, think about a normal walk. You're probably looking ahead. You know where you're going. Maybe you're doing the same 20-minute loop you do most days. But your Beagle is having a completely different experience. They stop, sniff, move forward, come back, they sniff the same patch again, then suddenly they're heading towards a tree you haven't even noticed. To us, this can be frustratingly slow. To your Beagle, there's information everywhere. Something passed this way, something stopped here, and something interesting might be just around the corner. You're walking through the neighbourhood, but your Beagle is reading it. And once you see the walk from their point of view, some of that apparent ignoring starts to make more sense. So does that mean the Beagles don't listen? Well, no. And this is where training matters. But you're not trying to train the Beagle's nose out of them. You're trying to teach them that paying attention is worthwhile too. With a Beagle, training is often less about control and more about keeping them interested. They're smart, but they're not always focused on you, particularly when something else is more interesting. So that's when rewards can help. Keeping training engaging can help, and practicing around distractions gradually can help. But there's an important difference between asking for your Beagle's attention in your kitchen and asking for it when their nose has just found something fascinating outside. One is easy, the other gives you some serious competition. What does this mean though if you're thinking about getting a Beagle? Think about the kind of dog you'd enjoy living with. Do you want a dog that's naturally looking to you for direction? Or do you quite like the idea of a dog that goes outside and immediately starts investigating the world? Because with a Beagle, walks involve stopping, waiting, sniffing, and occasionally wondering what on earth could be so interesting about that particular patch of grass. That's the Beagle you're choosing. Curious, independent, and very tuned into what's happening around them. For one owner, that could be frustrating. For another, it could be one of the things that they most enjoy about the breed. So, is your Beagle really ignoring you? Probably not. Their attention is simply somewhere else. And with a dog bred to follow scent, that somewhere else can be a world you don't even know is there. Training still matters. Your Beagle still needs to learn to respond to you, but understanding why their attention wanders makes the behaviour much easier to understand. So if you're thinking about getting a Beagle, ask yourself one last question. Would you enjoy living with a dog that experienced the world nose first? If that sounds like something you'd enjoy rather than find frustrating, a Beagle could fit very naturally into your life, because the dog you choose will shape your life. If you'd like a fuller picture of everyday life with a Beagle, you'll find our complete Beagle breed guide here on Pet Personalities. And if you already live with one, tell us in the comments, what's the strangest thing your Beagle has ever stopped to investigate. Please subscribe for more straightforward answers to the questions that matter when you're choosing a dog. And thanks for watching Pet Personalities. I'll see you next time.